up, Wolfpack Nation? We are back here for part two, baby, of our ICEPACK Frozen Finley preview. Again, discussion here with the captain of the ICEPACK, Victor Hugo himself. So if you haven't checked out part one yet, make sure to go and check that out first, and then come right back here and check out for part two here. Is that we kind of wrap up the ACCHL tournament, talk about the Frozen Finley game, what's next for ICEPACK, and life after ICEPACK for Victor. So kind of where we were still talking about the Penn State game, and the biggest thing which stood out to me was just first of all, Isaac Toyer, the goalie, just had a heck of a game. I mean, he was standing on his head the entire game for sure, and obviously won a goal, which I'm sure he 100% wants back, because it definitely wasn't. It was just, it was one which, Isaac, normally, I'm sure wouldn't let by. For sure it wasn't, a tough shot per se, but just one that just got by him, and, but at the end of the day, I mean, I easily say back to that when, people say, like, why are you picking on Isaac? He only let in one goal. So, I mean, I'm sitting here saying, even with that one goal that, 90% of the time wouldn't have let in, he did more than enough, to keep the ice back in the game and give this team an opportunity to win that game for sure. But a couple of shots where the puck just went on the opposite side of the post that that we wanted it to, and things like that, just wasn't quite getting in. And it was a great game. Like my wife and I left the same, man. Like that was an awesome game for sure. Even though it was 1-0, and I would have never imagined in a million years that that a ICEPACK game would ever end with just one goal combined between the two teams. So, but definitely, obviously after the game, obviously a lot of frustration for sure. Which I hated to see, but also too I like to see, just because I love to see that again that even though we are young, even though we have come a long way this year, that like it's still that we still wanted to win, even though it was against a really good Penn State team that has a good chance to win it all, or against a UNC team that came into the season with a lot of fire. So kind of talk to me about what was the locker room like afterwards. Was besides obviously the disappointment, was there a lot of was there any positives kind of taken out of it? Maybe even not necessarily in the locker room right afterwards, maybe the day after.
Yeah, so obviously we were all super bummed, mad, sad, all those emotions, just because we obviously wanted the fifth in a row for NC State, and couldn't get it. But yeah, we knew we played a good game. But as you said, Isaac played a great game, but you can't win if you can't score.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it was definitely tough. We were all bummed.
Yeah.
But we kind of figured that we have another chance. Obviously, we have the Carter Finley game, but we also have regionals coming up, and that's a chance to basically turn the whole season around. If we win that, go to nationals, then we have a chance to really play for a national title, which would be amazing to get. So
yeah,
we knew our season wasn't over. It was tough, but we still had some opportunities to get some big wins.
Absolutely. So explain that to me a little bit in terms of how that works. So does winning the ACCHL tournament get you anything extra, like like an automatic bye to nationals or anything like that?
No. So winning the ACC automatically gets you into regionals. And what happens with regionals is, so for the Southeast, which is what we're in, the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams get an automatic bid to nationals. So they don't even have to play in regionals. And then I believe it's 2 through 12 play a regional tournament. And you get a maximum of 3 games. So we're going to be coming in at probably the 11th seed. So one of the bottom seeds, which I honestly kind of like, because it brings our competition level up real high right from the get-go. And we'll probably get to see some teams that, we want to get some revenge on, like Indiana, like Kentucky. But we'll have to win 3 games in a row. And if we do that, then we will get a bid to nationals. So it really just comes down to, who can compete for all those 3 games, who can get it done.
So how many conferences make up this regionals?
I think there are a total of 3 different conferences.
Okay.
Because they're about, I think they do the rankings up to 20, and then a lot of teams are unranked. So I think there are either 3 or 4 conferences, and then there are four regions.
Okay, cool. Wow. Yeah. No, I mean, it's good to know because I mean, definitely I came into this, almost, asking like, what is next for Ice Pack. I wasn't necessarily sure exactly, how it was. So if you're a higher seed, do you not necessarily have to win 3 games in a row, or no matter what, if you're playing in the regionals, do you have to win 3 games in a row in order to make it to nationals?
No, I'm pretty sure the higher seeds get a first round bye, so they don't have to play on that Friday. They
Just
just
play
go right
win
to
2 games in
Saturday
a
and
row.
play. Yeah.
Okay.
But since we're a lower seed, we'll have to do 3 if we want to make it to nationals.
Okay. Good. Yeah. It was that makes sense. And where and when do these regionals take place?
They are going to be not next week, but the following week. Um, think it's the last week of February, I think.
Okay. Okay.
And they will be in at the St. James, up in Northern Virginia, actually close to where I'm from.
Cool.
So yeah,
Good. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of family there for that, I'm sure.
yeah. Thankfully, both my parents will be able to go. They'll be able to watch me play, which will be nice.
Sweet. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, no, good to know that. I mean, because I definitely was, wondering, like, is the Ice Pack Frozen Finley game going to be the last game of the season? I wasn't exactly sure. So that's good to know that there's still life even after that game, which I think honestly kind of helps, just
Mhm.
in a way, just to be like, that UNC game, it's to establish momentum heading into regionals. So, because is there a chance you'd have to face UNC at regionals?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a possibility. Just depends on
Okay.
how the rankings line up, but yeah, we could definitely see them again.
So I mean, meaning that I mean, you could have a chance. I mean, if you win the Frozen Finley game, you could face him again and tie the series, the season series against UNC. So that'd be sick. So
Exactly.
cool, good to know. Well, so Hugo. So obviously this is the game that everybody's talking about, at least right now on Monday night, 7 p.m. at the Frozen Finley game at Carter Finley. So first of all, let me kind of take a step back and say, so when did you get the new, like, when did you see the Frozen Finley Carter uniforms for the first time? Like, what was your reaction, like, when you first saw them, man?
Yeah, so we actually have been playing those for a long time.
A long
Because
time.
yeah, as you may
Wow.
know, the Canes were supposed to have an outdoor game the year that COVID happened,
Mm-hmm.
but then it got pushed back a couple years. So we had heard rumors that we might be playing in one. So we started designing these jerseys, and I actually designed them with a couple guys from my freshman year, Devin Halco and Ian O'Rourke. We kind of took inspiration from I don't know if you know, but Team USA when they played, I think it was one of the World Junior tournaments against Canada, up
Mm-hmm.
in Buffalo. They
Mm-hmm.
wore jerseys inspired by the Buffalo Bills.
Mm.
So that's kind of what we took inspiration from. We were like, we're going to be playing in Carter Finley, so let's do something football inspired. And we had a red jersey, we had a white jersey, so we were like, let's do a black jersey.
Mm.
And
Nice.
so that's been a long time coming. We were finally able to get them produced, and that was actually a tough one because they say NC State on them, and we've had
Mm.
long conversations with trademarking about it because they don't like us using the words NC State. They want club somewhere up there,
Mm-hmm.
or so that's why we actually came up with our ICEPACK brand, or that's why
Right.
Ian O'Rourke and Eric Todd came up with that. But I had a lot of conversations with them, and we finally agreed to let us use NC State for those jerseys. So we're really excited. Yeah, we're really excited to have those, and we're just super pumped. They turned out super, super amazing,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're ready to put them on.
For sure. So you actually have seen them for quite some time, even before they came out. So that's really cool. Yeah. And then what was the overall? I mean, like at least from you and what the team saw. I mean, what was the overall reaction to it?
Oh, they loved them. They
That's
were
nice.
they were all super excited because they look just like the football jerseys, so it would be kind of like we're on the team basically. But no, we're all
Yeah.
super pumped. We think they turned out amazing, and we're just ready to put them on and play with them.
Yeah. So I mean, have you? Like, 'cause I mean, first of all, I mean, I will say I've played and refed a couple of games at PNC Arena, and definitely playing on a rink like that, where the Carolina Hurricanes play and all that is super cool within itself as well. But I mean, this is to me another level. Like I know, like for example, like the Carolina Hurricanes, like they have their Saturday night game against the Capitals, but they also have an alumni game that they're doing, and you can actually play in it, but you have to pay like thousands of dollars just to play in the game and everything. And honestly, to me, like it's one of those things that like if you can afford it, I would definitely consider it just because of the fact that I mean how unique it is. The fact that you're playing an ice hockey game on on a football field in Carter Finley Stadium. Like that's like when's that ever going to happen? In our lifetime. It's not guaranteed to ever happen again in our lifetime. So I mean. So I mean, since I've sure have played multiple times at PNC Arena. Have you kind of started to just kind of like imagine like what it's going to feel like? I mean, stepping on the ice for the first time and looking around, going, I'm in Carter Finley Stadium and I'm playing on an ice hockey ring. Like that's the most bizarre thing ever.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hit me until I really do it, but
Yeah.
I we all keep thinking about it. It's gonna be it's yeah, just like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played. Well, we got the opportunity to play outdoors twice, but you know, not in front of any fans. So playing in Carter Finley, in like my own school's football stadium is gonna be it's gonna be like a dream come true. I don't even know how to describe it, but I am beyond excited for it, and I think all the guys are really.
Yeah. And and in terms of like it'd be like kind of like do you have like a wish list or like a bucket list of like, if these things can happen, for that Monday night game, a Frozen Finley game, like that would just make it even better.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd like to have a good game myself.
Sure.
A win would also be amazing, and
Yeah.
if I can squeeze it out, maybe a couple points, goal or a couple assists, you never know.
Let's go.
But I just want it to be a good game, just for all the fans that have come and support us all year,
Hmm.
and just for just the amazing opportunity. It's probably going to be talked about for a long time. We got some guys. The Hockey House Pod is just this podcast that they came on, and it's all about the ACHA, which is all club hockey all throughout the country. So they're going to be there. So there's going to be a lot of people flying in, coming down for the game. So
Yeah.
it's going to be really fun.
Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flatlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need. Offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flatlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flatlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flatlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. Have you got any calls from a former IcePack alum being like, man, like like can I have one more game of eligibility come back for this? I mean, because I'd be
Oh
pinching
yeah,
myself for sure.
yeah. I'm still friends with a lot of guys on the team, like Parker Zarek. I just saw him last night for the Super Bowl,
Nice.
and he was talking to me about it. And I feel bad, obviously, because he was supposed to get this a couple years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
he's excited for us. He
Sure.
wants to see us do well. He wants to see us put on a good game. So, but yeah, there's definitely that. It's bittersweet for them for sure.
Yeah. And are you going to the Hurricanes outdoor game on Saturday?
Oh yeah, I was lucky enough to get a student ticket, so
Nice.
a lot cheaper than the regular ones. But
Yeah.
I'll be wearing a Caps jersey, not a Canes one. So
What?
I'm from
Oh, sure.
Virginia,
That's true.
so I
That's
have
true.
to.
That's true. Fair enough. All right. That's fair. But I mean, like, being here in the area, I mean, are you kind of like, is the Hurricanes maybe team number 2 behind the Capitals?
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely up there. There is
Okay.
a rivalry brewing between the two. Just seeing each other in the playoffs for the past couple years, and then obviously
Hmm.
this outdoor game. But
Yeah.
I do like them. I like watching them. They're a really good team, so it's always
Yeah.
fun to see them play.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk to me a little bit here about the fans. I mean, one thing is which I mean really stands out to me this year. Was there was one game in particular. I can't remember who it was, but it was a home game, and I remember my wife and I went to it, and like the middle of the week, and maybe it was anyway. Don't necessarily matter what it was. All I know is that it happened while our Carolina Hurricane home game was going on as well. 10 miles down the road, and literally even still with that Hurricanes game going on. there was still not a seat to be had at at the ICEPACK game there, which I think I remember talking to Coach Healy afterwards, being like how crazy in that is that, and how unique is that, the fact that like we can literally have our professional team playing right down the road, and yet we still have enough fans that will show up here to watch us play here tonight instead of going to that game. I think to me that just really just goes to show how how much the fans support this team, but also too how much this team has grown. That it's a name that's known throughout the triangle and throughout Wolfpack Nation even as well. It's just growing and growing. So can you kind of talk to me a little bit in terms of how much you've seen the growth from in terms of fan support, and then really just how much the fan support means to the team?
Yeah, so first of all, our fans are amazing. We could not do anything we do without the support of our fans. And like you touched on earlier about the game at Hillsborough against UNC, we have our fans travel. Like they come, a lot of them came to the ACC tournament games. They go all over just to support us. So it's amazing to see the red in the stands. We love it. But yeah, so it started off. We actually started out at Polar Ice down. It's kind of close to, or it's the opposite direction of where we used to play. But they didn't really have good stands, so it was kind of just standing room. And I only played there my freshman year, so I didn't really get a good feel for it. But a couple of the older guys always told me that they used to pack the barn, and it was like a great sight to see. So. They've kind of just always been supporting us. They've always been, loving us. It's been great, especially since we moved to WCC with those big stands. We've been able to fill them out almost every night. And it's just awesome to play in front of, students that you go to school with. It's really cool to just see them come to the game. I have a couple friends that always go to the games, and, they always tell me the next day in class, like, oh, like you should have done this, like, good job doing that. So it's awesome to hear, and the support we get is just amazing.
I love it. Yeah, no, and just to clarify too, for those who are curious, so the ICEPACK plays at Invisalign Arena, which is the Hurricanes also practice facility, which is right beside the Raleigh-Durham Airport. So if you're ever curious where they play or whatever it may be, where the home games are, that's where it is. And yeah, it's a top-notch facility for sure. Love the environment there. Love the stands. Like even I remember for the UNC game on the Friday night, the last home game, senior night, that like I still remember that literally the entire stands was absolutely full. And on top of it too, typically there's like the glass area, which is right beside the benches, and typically they don't let fans get to that portion, just to just kind of keep fans away from heckling the players, just kind of give the players their space and everything like that. But I mean, just because there was so like it was so overflowing, they started to let people just go there, just being like, we just got to make them fit somewhere. And so to me, like, that's the thing I love, is that I think it's not only just NC State fans, but even UNC fans a little bit as well, are still, I think, buying in more and more into this rivalry, which is awesome. I mean, I love to see it. Obviously, I would love for them to be so disappointed that they can't win a single game, that they just don't even want to come. But for the sake of the rivalry, hey, it's good that we finally that we let them win one or two, just to just keep them interested a little bit.
Right.
But one of the things that really stood out to me on senior day was, I remember, like, when they would list the seniors, and they talked about being aerospace engineering. They talked about one guy who was going to go work for like Edward Jones or a bank or something like that. And then like every single guy that came out, like, it wasn't like they were a business major, which, again, I mean, not hating on these majors, but just saying, like, they're like, every single senior is in a tough major, really tough major. On top of it too, still balancing life balance, and also too playing hockey, which is definitely a full-time commitment too on top of it. I mean, like, is it more because, I mean, again, you guys aren't getting like scholarship money. I mean, you guys are actually paying to play on top of it. So like, I can understand, like, if you're getting a scholarship and you said, all right, well, if my school's paid for, then I'll go do aerospace engineering or something tough like that. But I mean, to literally be paying and choose still to go to a hard major and choosing to also play hockey, like, I mean, that just says a lot. So, I mean, like, is there a reason that you could kind of say of like why all these guys choose to have such hard majors on top of playing hockey full time?
I mean, NC State's just such a good school, and at the end of the day, we are students first, before athletes. So our education does come first. And we got a smart team. We had a couple guys with 4.0 GPAs. So they just came here to challenge themselves, and they still love hockey, so
Yeah.
they decided to play too.
Love it. Yeah, I still remember UNC fans or UNC students during that game chanting safety school, which I'm like, and like I remember Coach Healy literally talking to us after the game going, like, did they not hear the majors that were getting called out? Like these are no like, accounting majors or, like business majors. These are like aerospace, banking. Like these are no jokes. So yeah, no safety school. I don't think that really applies. But anyway, so yeah, so kind of wrapping this up, Victor. So I mean, kind of talk to me in terms of like what's life after NC State. I'm sure you're graduating here in the spring here. So what's I'm assuming it sounds like you have a job hopefully lined up. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, thankfully. So I had this past summer I had an internship up with Northrop Grumman. They're just an aerospace and defense company. And then they were lucky enough to offer me a full-time position once I graduate. So, as long as I graduate, which, I'm on track to be doing, but as long as I graduate, I'll be moving back up kind of close to home. It's like 30 minutes away from my house. So it'll be nice. I'll be around my parents, but I'm going to be a systems engineer for Northrop Grumman on their space systems team.
That's amazing. Wow, that's unbelievable. And is there a contingency as well? They have to make it to nationals too, or?
Oh yeah, if they put that there, that would definitely get me fired up. But no, unfortunately not.
Yeah, no, fortunately, I mean, definitely don't need that pressure for sure. But yeah, no, that's awesome, man, and definitely congratulations on that. That's unbelievable to say the least. So,
thank you.
So again, Wolfpack Nation, I can't say enough. First of all, I mean that again, I mean, for the last 5 years that the ICEPACK have won, the CHL championship, and again, obviously, just can't say enough. That to go support these guys. I mean, again, tickets to games are like $5 to $7, a ticket. They're super, super cheap, and on top of that, you get to see 60 minutes of great competitive hockey, a great environment, a fun environment, hostile environment sometimes if UNC comes to town. So again, just can't say enough, y'all, to support these guys, and specifically here Monday night at Carter Finley, 7 p.m. Again, tickets are actually free to go watch it, so make sure to go do that. Let's pack the stands full of red and support these guys, and so that way we can send them off to regionals the right way. So Victor, anything, any other last words, for Wolfpack Nation and our followers, or, any ways to kind of, also support the team, and anything else from your end?
Yeah, like as you said, come out, support us on February 20th. That's going to be the biggest game of probably our careers. It's the first time and probably the only time it's going to happen in a long time for NC State students and for us players. So just come out, support us, and I appreciate you for having me on. It's been a great conversation.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely glad to do it, Victor. And again, definitely wish you the best of luck here. First of all, finishing off the season hopefully on a high note, but even though too on top of that, definitely wish the best of luck with life after NC State for sure. And I'm sure, I have no doubt we'll still see you around, cheering on the ICEPACK when you can as well. So
yeah, for sure.
So with that being said, Wolfpack Nation, again, if you don't mind, and if you love NC State content, if you love, Tuffy Talk content, whatever it may be, make sure you're going to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified on all your devices whenever we go live with any new content, any new episodes, any of our watch parties, our live streams, our Tuffy Talk live shows every Monday night, 8 p.m. And also, too, as well, if you love NC State ICEPACK hockey just like us, hit that like button if you don't mind. And also, too, if you wouldn't mind, give us a follow. Tuffy Talk now, Twitter, Instagram. But thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all again. And as always, go Pack, y'all.